What's up, everyone? Welcome back to How Is This Fake? It's me, TJ, joined by Miggy on this
Hi.
special Sunday episode.
Good
We are going
tomorrow.
to get ready for Double or Nothing, which, sad news, you want to tell them this has been your mission.
I got an email from AEW, and guys, we're not going to be part of the media scrum. We're
You
just
think if
not.
I,
We're just not. It's a personal attack on us, and you know why I think so?
because of me,
You know who works for AEW?
who?
Thunder Rosa. You know who's friends with Thunder Rosa?
Well, I thought we were. I thought she was a friend of the podcast.
I thought so too until I realized that she was friends with DreamSlam's general manager Enoch the Enlightened.
Oh my God.
I'm thinking, you know, we're tying this little background information here, folks. This episode is going to be attached to our interview that we just had with Enoch the Enlightened. And yeah, there were moments of hostility and there were moments where we were cool. But I think there might have been some collusion here, trying to sabotage the How Is This Fake Trivia Championship champion.
You gotta get it. You gotta get it right.
The How Is This Fake podcast trivia champion.
No, dude, you're just the How Is This Fake champion.
No, it's only trivia, man. It's got to be.
But that's
I
all
don't
we
know.
do.
I'm just disappointed.
I'm
I
teasing. I'm teasing.
so here it is again. AEW, one of the best. Where the best wrestle, because that's what you guys do. You wrestle. I am a wrestling fan. I've been to almost every single Double or Nothing. You guys are bringing Double or Nothing to my hometown. You
That's right.
guys are bringing it here to Arizona. I'm here for it. I already have my tickets. I just want to be part of the media scrum. That is it. I am begging, I am pleading from one up and coming podcast to one of the best professional wrestling companies in the world today. Yes, that I am kissing your butts right now because I want to be part of the media scrum. So if you see this, or if you are a fan of the podcast, a friend of the podcast, as we would say, tag AEW in this video. Let them know they need to let us be part of the media scrum. I don't even need tickets. I told you I don't need tickets. I just want a pass to go to the media scrum.
He literally just wants to be in the room, and if you can squeeze him in the back wall, he'll stand there.
Yep, I will stand there. That's it.
I can hear you, but you froze for a second. Oh, there you go. Oh,
There
there
it
you
is.
go. He's wigging out.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see now you're frozen again. And you're kind of sideways.
What's going on, dude?
It's the collusion. It's the Enoch and Thunder Rosa. Now, by the way, dude, I was just busting your balls about the name of the champion, and it's
Yeah.
because I just it's like an ism that you do, and I think it's cool, like it's charming. But every time you reference yourself, you call yourself a different, and
I'm
it's
confused.
like I just don't know which one it's gonna be, on a Monday or Sunday or
My inner art truth.
how about that, huh? Well, we're gonna talk about that.
That's
We're
the
gonna talk
last
about
week in
that.
wrestling.
Yeah, that's
Today
tomorrow's
we're
or
talking double or
Tuesdays.
nothing.
It's AEW, baby. Top 10 Double or Nothing matches, and then we're gonna go over a little bit of how Double or Nothing started because it's kind of well, I mean, not kind of, it is the birthplace of AEW. Is let's put it this way. AEW was conceived at All In and it was birthed at Double or Nothing. And the gender reveal was when they had the press conference in Las Vegas.
That's a good way to put it. I don't
That's a
know,
very
man.
good way to.
Yeah, I'm excited for this week, dude. Being double or nothing week. It's Dream Slam week. Dream Slam's got
That's
their
true.
big show, and it's also you know, a show that we're not that excited for, but I'm sure we got to talk about it this week too. Saturday night's main event week.
No.
And we're gonna into all that in the next episode, but we're gonna focus on double or nothing today or this half of the episode because like I spoiled for everybody. We had that guy, the Enoch guy.
We might not. We might not. I might just cut it out just because I'm mad. I'm just kidding. It'll be on
But yeah,
begrudgingly.
history of double or nothing. 2019, I traveled to Vegas for this show. One of the greatest moments of my entire life and one of the best years of my entire life. It was my wife's first professional wrestling show that she ever got to attend. And one hell of a show that it was. But like you said, this is where the baby was born.
Yep.
Double or Nothing 2019, the very first ever Double or Nothing with one of my favorite matches of all time. Let's get into my top 10 Double or Nothing matches that have taken place over the last what is this, 6 years? Double or Nothing 6? Yeah.
Looks like it.
Um,
So are these is number one your best? Like are these ranked
Number
or are
one
these
is my
just
favorite. This is
okay?
in order. This is in order from going to my favorites.
Miggy's
Um,
definitive double or nothing top 10.
that's right. Um, let's start off with the first ever casino battle royal because we had no idea what a casino battle royal was in 2019. This was on the buy-in. This was like I think they had like two matches on the buy-in that
So,
year.
some would argue we still don't know what a casino battle
Yeah,
royal is.
but
I'm teasing.
just alone, I remember how excited I was with all of like these names that were showing up in there. And some of these guys I didn't even know at the time. And you look at everybody in this match, except for like two people. They've all done crazy things in AEW and even outside of AEW. I mean, you look at Tommy Dreamer, the innovator of violence himself, being in that match. And
Yep.
honestly, I think that might have been the very first time I ever saw Tommy Dreamer wrestle.
Oh, really? Well,
The
that makes
only time.
sense. That makes
Um,
sense.
Sunny Days. I don't know who that is. I'll be honest. I also don't know who Dustin Thomas is. But Sunny Kiss. I'm a Sunny Kiss fan.
Yep.
Sean Spears. Um, you had Orange Cassidy. That was his AEW debut. Was Orange? That was yeah. I mean, all the kicks. You know who else who blew me away that night?
Tell me.
MJF in that match.
He's always been great.
You had Nakazawa. You had both of the Mark Quinn and the Private Party. Both of them were in there. Jimmy Havoc was in that. Joey Janela. We just saw him. Hear all about that in our Sabu tribute, and go back and
Real
watch our WrestleMania vlog.
real quick regarding us at Sabu's last match. You can go on YouTube and find the actual match, like with the commentary and everything. And bro, when Sandman's out, the video we got of me flipping out, dude, I'm right there. You
All
can,
right, I gotta
oh, it's
go.
perfect. So you
I
got to
gotta
go
go
back
look
and
at it.
watch it. The
Uh,
listeners too, you got to go back and watch it.
Luchasaurus. There was a dinosaur in this match, and there was also a Mortal Kombat character in Glacier.
Nice.
Then you had Ace Romero, Brandon Cutler, Brian Pillman Jr., aka Lexus King, the Ass Man himself, Billy Gunn, and the winner of that match, Hangman Adam Page. And now look at where Adam Page is. I mean, I would argue that Adam Page is one of the faces of AEW.
Yeah, and sometimes not to get too into it, we're gonna stick to your list, but man, I think of Adam Page as like not wasted potential because obviously, like you said, but I remember when he got hurt, and then he came back at it was some kind of it might have been another casino battle royal or something like that, but I think it was on Dynamite. And this is a couple years ago, and they had the chance to put the title on him before he like left. And who did he lose to? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
He lost to CM Punk.
No, is that the only time he's lost? Has he been a two-time champ?
Um, I don't know.
Like he was challenging for the title and he lost. And I remember like on Busted Open or something, they were talking about how that would have been a good time to like pull the trigger and put the title on him. Because then when he left and came back, it was kind of like a little bit of the steam had gotten lost. So I
Was it Jericho?
no, because it wasn't that early. Because I know Jericho, I remember him
He
being the
was the
first
first
champ.
champion.
Man, I wish I knew. I shouldn't have
I
even
don't know.
opened my mouth. I should have knew
I don't
more
know off
about
the
what I
top of
was
my
talking
head.
about. But yeah, dude, Hangman Page, fucking love him, dude. All right,
Um,
what's your number nine, buddy?
the Four Pillars match, Double or Nothing 23.
Nice. Sammy Guevara, MJF, Darby Allin, and Jungle Boy when he was still Jungle Boy.
Yep. Um, now Darby Allin's out there climbing Mount Everest,
Doing
doing
kick
skate,
flips.
yeah, kick flips, breaking world records. You have, um, what else? Oh, Sammy Guevara. He was just on Collision last night. He's tagging with Dustin. Sons of Texas.
How long
Then
did
you
they hold the
got,
Ring of Honor titles?
it's been a good 6 months,
Yeah.
if not more. And then you got, I don't know where Jack Perry is. I'm not even gonna lie, unless I honestly, fingers crossed, he's coming back. Double or Nothing. The two returns I want at Double or Nothing. Jack Perry and Cope. We'll call him Cope for the sake of
You
my AEW media pass. um, and then MJF, newest member of the Hurt Syndicate. So they may have fallen from grace a little bit, in my opinion, but I don't know. Number 8. Speaking of Cope, Adam Copeland versus Aleister Black, Double or Nothing last year. Hell in a Cell, steel, not Hell in a Cell, steel cage with the barbed wire. Um, that is my favorite match that Adam Copeland has had in AEW, and that says a lot, I think. Malachi Black, not Aleister. Well, he's known as Aleister Black again, but Malachi Black. Um, it was a cool match. It was fun. I know Copeland got hurt, but we got Gangrel. Um,
friend of the podcast, Gangrel. Good
so
follow on Instagram.
yeah, it was cool. It was a good match. I liked it. A lot of blood, a lot of fun. A lot of standing up the whole entire time, which was good because the guy that was next to me was like a giant, and it just was the seats just weren't that comfortable. Um, Number 7, Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter,
Nice.
23, Double or Nothing 23. Now, um, Tony Storm would argue would be my favorite women's wrestler today. We love us a good Tony Storm here on the How Is This Fake podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping they run it back. I'm hoping they run it back at All In or whatever the whole All In Texas. We'll find out when Jamie Hayter and Mercedes Moné go at it at Double or Nothing next weekend for that
Hell
number
yeah.
one contender spot. And I'm hoping that I'm hoping they hold it out and we get that match in July. I don't think Mina has beaten Tony. But I hope they run it back. I really don't want to see Tony Storm versus Mercedes, but do I think that that is the more likely of the two matches? Probably.
Okay.
But who knows? Maybe I'll be surprised, and even if Mercedes wins, we'll get into that. We'll get into that when we talk Double or Nothing. But Jamie Hayter, Tony Storm, Double or Nothing, 2023, excellent match.
Seems like 2023 was a good year for Double or Nothing, according to your list so far.
Double or Nothing 23 and 24 and 19 were my favorite ones.
Nice.
Um, Speaking of 19, the main event of Double or Nothing 2019, we just talked about it. Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho for the inaugural AEW Championship. I had no idea who was going to win this match. I'm not even going to lie.
Okay, so I looked up, by the way, this is the hat you got me. Uh-huh.
Oh, ooh, it looks good on you.
Um, so I was looking up this morning because I was convinced that the first main event, or the main event of the first Double or Nothing, was Hangman Page and Jericho.
Nope.
But it wasn't for the title either. It was to see who would go on to face Hangman for the title at All Out or All In, whatever the fuck was right after that. This is according to Wikipedia.
Yeah. So, so Hangman won
The
the
casino.
the casino, and that's yeah. So that was the first like
Okay.
number one contenders match.
I don't know why I forgot about those stipulations because I remember that Jericho and Omega, like obviously they had the history in New Japan, and I knew they ran it back in AEW. I don't know why I don't remember that match uh, being the main event. I thought it was Hangman and Jericho. But what do I know?
Yeah. Um, let's see here. Yeah, good match. Um, However, the ending is what makes it in the top 10. Debut of John Moxley.
Gian
Now,
Moxley.
I will never forget being there freaking out when John Moxley was walking down and the guy sitting next to me who traveled to Vegas by himself, standing on his chair. Oh my God, it's Dean Ambrose. Oh my God, it's Dean Ambrose. No, it wasn't, dude. It was John Moxley, and he showed everybody why we were calling him John Moxley. Now he went out there and beat the living hell out of Kenny Omega, gave him that DDT onto the poker chips, and had one of the biggest rivalries that we've seen in AEW, and they're running it back.
Dude, I was
Um,
just gonna say after Dynamite with all the steel cage madness, um, I was just thinking, man, Mox and Omega are like the ultimate. Like, I don't really think about it that much because they're usually not involved with each other, but they
mhm.
always find their way back to each other. And I
Well, it's
think it
because they're
works
like the
perfect here
biggest
because
names.
what was that?
It's I mean, they're the two biggest names, I think, but
Oh, for well, I mean, when Moxley, I mean, yeah, probably. I I think Kenny Omega probably isn't as big as he once was,
no.
but it's I don't know. It's kind of giving me like Cena Orton vibes. Like they always find their way back to each other at some point.
Speaking of Kenny Omega, really quick. So
Yeah.
my sister went to that Epic Universe yesterday out in Florida.
She see him?
Kenny Omega was also there. There's a good chance that they were right by each other, and my sister has no idea who that is. So not only did she not get to meet Kenny Omega, she also didn't get me a shirt from the Mummy. Whatever. I love her still, but she should know who Kenny Omega is. Kenny Omega also featured in this next match I'm going to talk about now. We're in the top five.
Yeah.
We're hitting the sad year for Double or Nothing. The ones that are taking place in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was an awesome match. It had some cinematic masterpiece stuff to it. I think it might have been Matt Hardy's first match in AEW. Definitely his first ever Double or Nothing match as Broken Matt Hardy when he joined the Elite to take on the Inner Circle in the Stadium Stampede match, which I
That's
think
on it.
birthed
Go ahead.
what
Sorry. Go
birthed
ahead.
the Anarchy in the Arena, and we're gonna get to those matches.
That's on my list of best matches of all time.
It was
Uh,
amazing.
dude, I COVID 2020 was such a mind fuck.
Hmm.
And still, like, people, this has nothing to do with wrestling, but still, people are just like, the world is just different. And it's hard to even remember what it used to be like. All I know is it was fucking, we all needed to just buy into something so outrageous because the times we were living in were so outrageous. And that match was nothing but outrageous. It was like, it was almost like watching a sitcom almost because it was like forever and like there was action, but like the dunking of Matt Hardy and then he's like all the different versions of himself.
You had
Uh,
the what's it called?
Hangman was on the horse.
Yeah, the horse, the golf cart stuff. It was all great. All of it was great.
What, didn't Sammy Guevara do some kind of flip off the goalpost?
Hmm. Something
Amazing.
like that. No, I don't think it was the goalpost. I think it was like the I don't know. He did a big jump. It was a
Perks
good
of
match.
having the owner of your company own a football
Oh,
stadium.
exactly. Um, number 4, CM Punk versus Hangman Page. This was my first time seeing CM Punk since he returned to professional wrestling. Um, I nearly cried when he walked past me at the Mandalay Bay to go to dinner with AJ Lee, and I said, "Hey Punk, I'm rooting for you." And he looked at me and he said, "Thank you."
I never knew that.
Yeah, only interaction I've ever had with CM Punk, and I will never forget that because I am a mark, and that's okay. Yeah, Hangman and Adam Page. I honestly thought that they were Hangman, Adam Page, and CM Punk. Honestly, thought that they were going to.
It was
I don't know. I didn't know who was gonna win. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't even know if they were going to finish the match. I didn't know if it'd break down in a shoot or something like that because that was after Hangman cut the promo on Punk on Dynamite where many
Hmm.
people say he went into business for himself. Um and I got to be honest, bro, that match was great. It deserves to be in the top 10. But as an AEW fan, I think I started losing my fandom when Hangman cut that promo. And
Okay.
like, but it, not that this has anything to do with it, but it's just a very like, you putting in the top 10 is cool because to me it's like whether or not it was a good match, it's still significant in like the history of AEW. Can you imagine Hangman signing with WWE eventually and then
Change
he
his
retire
name.
he retires Punk? Hangman Adonis Page.
Yeah.
All right, buddy, what's your number 3? Are we at 3 now?
We're at 3. And we're jumping next 2 matches of the Anarchy in the Arenas from the last 2 years. I'm gonna spoil it for you there. Anarchy in the Arena 2023 saw the BCC take on
Nice.
the Elite. BCC is what born or gave birth to the Death Riders. Born to board. I don't know. It's early, buddy.
I know.
And I took a melatonin last night to help me sleep. So,
Hollow.
um, yeah,
And was
awesome match.
Danielson in this match at this point?
Brian Danielson was in this match, and this
Okay.
was the match that they screwed up and played Wild Thing over and over and over again. Um, it was just cool, man. It was so cool.
Can I
Um,
guess your number 1 when we get to it?
yeah, blood absolutely everywhere. Just a fun match, and the crowd being so into it. The only time I ever seen the crowd more into a match like that was in 24 Anarchy in the Arena, where
Sick.
was let me tell you something. Okay.
Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you. Where's my thing that I had up? Let me talk to you really quick. When in your life ever, okay, have you ever seen a man get lit on fire before? Have you ever seen a man get lit on fire in real life?
In real life,
In real life.
not that I can remember.
Well, I've seen it quite a few times in like stunt shows and stuff like that, but this was the coolest. We got Darby Allin. What's going on with my camera? Darby Allin um lighting Jack Perry on fire. Um I don't know what it is. You know what they should do? They should play music during every single match.
Dude, I remember when that happened. It was sick. It was
Because
anarchy.
yeah. Um because in this one they played the final countdown. And it was amazing. That used to be my dad's ringtone. And I was like, "Oh, wow, that's cool." And then it's Bryan Danielson. He'll be back in WWE. He'll be Daniel Bryan at some point again. But dude, just an awesome match. Blood everywhere, fire.
By the way, the
Um,
when do you remember when the BCC the week before it got formed? Do you remember what happened on Dynamite?
someone William Regal.
So Mox went, he was like walking to the back. This is on Dynamite. And Danielson popped out. And he thought, oh, fuck, we're going to get Mox versus Danielson. And I was okay with it, but I was like, oh, whatever. And then they just look at each other or whatever. And then the next week, they talk. I think it was not all one episode. I think it was 2 weeks. And Danielson says we shouldn't go against each other. We should be teaming up against each other. And dude, I popped on my couch because I was like, it's
I
like the
like
mega
that.
powers. Yeah, and I was like, oh God. And then dude, when they brought Regal in, and I still when Regal slapped Yuta and Yuta comes back at him like a whip. Oh my God. Goosebumps just thinking about it.
I love it. All right, buddy. What's my number one?
Dustin versus Cody.
Dustin versus Cody is not even just my number one. It's in my top five greatest matches of all time.
Oh my God.
I actually said that a couple weeks ago on Twitter, and Dustin retweeted me.
He did?
Um, he did. I don't know if I told you that or not, but every possible emotion you could feel took place in that match.
Even at the
Um,
entrances.
from the entrances to the background story to how they didn't even need to tell the story, but how they told the story of their lives, and just putting on that match, and just two brothers in a
It
ring.
it bridged generations.
Yeah. And for them to do that there, the match that they wanted to have there in comparison to everything that they did in WWE, um, full circle moment. Dustin Cody, one of the greatest matches of all time. From the blood, like I said, to the story, to the moves, to the ending, where it's like, I need a partner, I need a brother.
Oh my
Uh,
God. And he's crying, and then
and
Dustin
he's
breaks down
crying.
to the
I'm
turnbuckle.
crying in the crowd.
Oh,
Um, man,
who
if
came
there's
out? Sorry, I didn't
you're
know you
good.
were saying something. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just every possible emotion you could feel. If you haven't seen that match, if you want, if I was going to explain professional wrestling to somebody that's never seen it before, this would be one of the matches that I showed them.
Oh,
If not the
100%.
very first match that I showed them. So
Is
you heard it here. Cody versus Dustin, not only my favorite match that ever took place at Double or Nothing, one of the best matches that ever took place in the history of professional wrestling. What were you gonna ask, buddy?
I don't even remember because it's just so
Who came
good.
out?
Oh, I know Brandy was there at one point. Was Arn involved in this? Was he there yet?
No, I don't know if anybody came out during that match. Did they come out during that match? Like, I think Brandy walked him to the ring because that's where they did the. Oh yeah, the entrances. I mean, that's where they did the smashing of
Well,
the
that's
throne.
right. That's why I
Yeah,
mentioned the entrances.
it was just Brandy. Yeah,
Okay.
it was just Brandy. I mean, I'm thinking back to like the original All Out where you know, when Nick Aldis versus Cody and then they both had like big teams of people walk him out, like big fight feel. But yeah, no, this was just Brandy. They crushed the throne and man, such a good match. Such a good. Yeah. And honestly, you know, that was the match wasn't like the match was over 20 minutes, which was cool. Um, but it didn't feel like it. It felt like it went by so quick because of how nonstop it was.
And
And honestly, I don't
everything
think
they did drew you in.
yeah, and you know, the next match was the crazy backflip match, super kick party match between the Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks. And then you had Kenny and Chris Jericho. Um, but people in Vegas left talking about that match more than anything else.
Well, and it was because the match had to be good.
Yeah.
It had to be good, especially after what Cody did in the entrance, because this was at the height. I didn't want to talk about this, but it's impossible to with Cody literally smashing Triple H's throne.
Mm-hmm.
This was at arguably the height of the low, like the lowest of the low of WWE creative since probably like 1993 and 4.
Yep.
And it was everything that a disgruntled wrestling fan had been waiting for was happening in front of their eyes, and having Cody smash the throne just validated everyone's feelings. And then going out and having a V banger, and then the tag match, like you said, and then Mock shows up after the main event. I mean, it was euphoric.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I cannot say enough good things about how great that match was. And ugh, goddamn, I'm just gonna keep repeating myself.
And you know what? That's a really good point because you know, AEW then came out with Dynamite around August that year, and WWE started to worry a little bit. And I honestly think that's where the big change in WWE creative really was starting to take place. And then you know you had that spark of genius when you did the Survivor Series that included NXT. Um,
Well, and remember they had to. I think COVID gave WWE a lot of opportunities. Like that was when the Tribal Chief really started to like
yeah,
take off, and then you also had, you know, after a certain point when AEW kept beating NXT, Vince and Bruce took it back and they made NXT 2.0, and now we're on NXT 3.0. But
you know
yeah,
what's crazy? Like looking at that because I looked it up because I wanted to confirm that that was 2019 too. And I'm looking at this card of the Survivor Series card from 2019. And there's a couple of names I want to say out loud, and you could tell me what they all that wrestled on that card. You could tell me what they all have in common. Okay.
okay, okay.
Leo Rush, Kalisto, Kyle O'Reilly, Tony Storm, Sasha Banks, Roderick Strong, Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan, Keith Lee, Ricochet. What do all those guys have in common?
They're not there no more.
But where are they?
They're in AEW.
They're
Well,
in AEW.
allegedly, no one knows where Keith Lee is.
That's fair. But then you're looking at this too, and it's like you look at these names that are also not there anymore in comparison. There were 10 matches on that card. You also all of those people I mentioned, and then you have Dolph Ziggler. You have Sarah Logan's still there now. You have Dolph Ziggler. You have Carmella, Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans. You have Adam Cole. I said, unfortunately, Bray Wyatt, Baron Corbin, Mustafa Ali, Braun Strowman, Matt Riddle, and Shayna Baszler, all not even with WWE.
Well, buddy, we got about 30 seconds left. I didn't even realize.
Check out our next episode. Follow us everywhere. How is this fake podcast? HITF Pod. Great episode.
Yeah. Buddy. Take it easy, buddy.
Later, man.
But let's fill people in. What's going on here?
So it's currently 7-11 on Wednesday night. We just had an interview that it went by so fast. I mean, time flew by like a breeze.
Yeah.
With Alan Breeze, which was pretty cool. Had a lot to say about 5 Star. Had a lot to say about. I didn't realize he just wrestled like Raymond Bright too on that Resurgence, or not a Resurgence, but at New Japan stuff. And then he had a lot to say about our friend Jake Redondo, the future of pro wrestling. And yeah, he didn't have that much to say about either.
Oh.
Why did it turn off? Oh, there we go. What's up, fellas? You thought you were gonna be rid of me today, huh?
Well, I honestly thought that you were just I don't know, sleeping.
And then you go back around the other way.
Oh, this guy.
Hello. You know that guy?
doing,
You know me?
Hey,
you like me, don't you?
Yeah, you're a friend
of
of
the
the podcast. Yeah.
Hey, treat him well, okay?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Dude, how do I get one of those bowling shirts?
Bowling shirts?
You got to come to our shows. These are VWC shows. See, mine says Booker.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I like those, though. I do like those.
Five time.
John's our referee, so he only referees
Right
the
now.
show.
Yeah, that's all I do.
Yeah.
It's a ref right now.
I thought referees had a dress code, no long hair.
No long hair. This ain't that long. That's why we tie it up. You know
It's
what I think about hair?
There's more hair than I got.
Exactly.
It's
Hey,
true.
remove that hat so we can see your shiny head.
Can I do it sensually?
Anything involving you is probably not central. You look
Hey.
like a potato
Yeah,
head. I love it.
Potato head.
Can I draw on you? I'm gonna draw on you and put some Play-Doh on your head. Maybe then we give you some Goldilocks.
Dang.
I do. I
Very
put some
nice.
Play-Doh. I do experiment with Play-Doh a little bit.
Dang.
What kind of experimenting are you doing with Play-Doh?
One of the not the same as the experimenting that you do in your videos, but we
Ooh.
I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for that experimentation. What do you got? Are you like a little Dr. Frankenstein? Are you Frankenstein building up some Play-Doh?
He actually
Oh, go ahead.
he actually melts it into a hot wax and drips it all over his bare chest.
Yep.
And uses something that reminds with Play-Doh, huh?
Mm.
Yep.
Kind of like dill pickles. But you keep the dill, Play-Doh. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Amazing.
Yeah, they figured me
John's
out.
charming them.
And persuasive.
They figured me out.
This is my interview, John.
Okay.
Go teach class.
All right, Teach. We got some beef. All right. I hope you're hungry because it's time for dinner. You son of a bitch.
Okay, bring it on. Come on.
Mickey,
you
go
got?
ahead. You're the champion.
What
So
you got?
listen, dude. I've woke my ass up twice early in the morning to talk to you. I needed to hear some more about your acting, your sidebar, your supporting actor in your pornos.
Oh, dude. I mean, I've never been in a porno.
I
but
don't
I'm
know.
Sure,
I'm sure
you looked for it.
I googled that movie you told me about, and
Life is Palace of Pleasure.
I got some weird stuff coming up, and now I'm looking at Zombies 9 that's coming out that you're in.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to watch it. You're gonna have to tell me how I can get to that, but
And then Meat Hook Massacre, that one's good too. You're just taking the one thing that I did that has a questionable title, and you're holding it to everything else. I'm not a porn star. You probably are a porn star. Let's be honest.
Well,
Snow White
he
and the
wishes.
Seven
He
Dwarfs.
wishes.
You guys can all run a train on her, so one at a time.
I do have a question
I do
about
enjoy
Zombie
me some
9 though.
dwarfs.
Do you have to watch Zombie 1 through 8 to get 9?
Yes, for sure. I mean, the story, like, I mean, if you don't watch it, you're going to just be completely lost. Like, why are there zombies? Why are there 9 of them? You know, it's a very specific number. It's one ring to rule them all.
Okay. Alrighty.
So I do what's it called? I looked all over the place for some of your movies and some of the stuff that you're in. So we're gonna have a sidebar. You're gonna have to tell me where I could go and watch some of them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, big bad CGI monsters is easily like available, and then Cocaine Cougar is another one.
I did like that title.
I met one of those at at Lake Alice one time. That's a bar out here, Miggy. So, dude, you're the general manager of DreamSlam Wrestling, which we're the official podcast of.
The only real one.
Yeah, the only real one. Mega Metal Mayhem is coming up soon. A night full of cage matches. What have you got in store? Because you've been pulling shenanigans, you've been sleeping in. I don't know. It seems like no one likes you at DreamSlam. So what do you got in store for everyone this time around?
I think that people are just jealous. I've aligned myself with the top free agent in all of professional wrestling, Jordan Cruz. I mean, people look at him, he's the freaking Greek god. And yeah, I mean, I would be jealous of me too. Like, he doesn't associate with people often. And so for him to allow me to be by his side and help him get to that next level is something that people definitely are jealous of, for sure.
And
if people don't like me,
sorry.
I mean, they can kiss my ass, dude. I don't care. Pinky can come in and try to do whatever he wants to do. He can run his rules. But at the end of the day, he's just a big old dork. So
now
whatever.
Explain to me. So our friend Peggy was supposed to be on the podcast.
Okay, but it's okay when she ditches you because she's a girl and you don't know.
No, I was gonna say I honestly think that you might have. Peggy seems like a very strong woman. I don't want to say that you have any power over her, but that had to be uncomfortable for Peggy, just firing her in the middle of everyone. And she's going to come on interview and talk to you? Like, I don't understand.
She did know you were coming on, and then she wasn't on.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when your soul is broken. I mean, she didn't do her job well. She walks around putting clown makeup on, looking like a clown. When you act like a clown, you're going to get treated like you're some type of court jester. She didn't do her job. She went out there and farted out of her mouth on the microphone. And I'd had enough of it. Every single time I was on commentary, I just heard her screeching. And I got tired of it. So It
But what is
happens.
but what about the Dream Slam fans who love Peggy? She gets big pops. Peggy pops.
Um, the DreamSlam fans, I don't really care. That's Pinky's
Of
department.
course you don't. Yeah.
Yeah, he's out there kissing babies, shaking hands, and that's great for him. That's what he likes to do. It makes him feel good. He wakes up in the morning, looks at himself in the mirror, dressed in pink, thinking that he's such badass, that he's such a cool guy, but he's got no friends.
And
No one knows.
then you have Enoch who's out there kissing hands and shaking babies.
I shake babies and kiss hands. Absolutely. But only the right hands, because most of the Dream Slam fans are disgusting and probably, have poop on their hands, leave poop stains on the chairs.
That's
You know
very
how many
specific.
times I have to ask my personal janitor to come and clean up after the Dream Slam
And
fans?
then Honest
You know?
John's out there just wiping down chairs left and right.
Honest John is a dork, okay? Just like Pinky, I allow him to be a trainer with me at the school because he is talented. But when he walks away, I get the students and I go, no, 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 no. Do it like this. He's fucking wrong. He's fucking tripping. Look, just get his body type, but don't do what he does. Eat what he eats. Don't do what he does. Don't be a dork. Like you. Look at your smile. Yee, like the Cheshire cat. I mean, come on. You probably got lost in Alice in Wonderland all the time. Think you're a hippie?
Well, you know what happened is that I started listening to like reggaeton. Like, do you know
Oh,
reggae music?
yeah.
Yeah, and it just psyched me out, dude. And then all of a sudden, I listened to Recreation. Have you ever heard of them?
No, dude. What's that?
It's this reggae funk style music,
Yeah.
and it psyched me out a little bit, and I was just in the zone. Sorry, let me get back on
Oh,
there. But you should really, I highly recommend them for Dream Slam Wrestling.
dude, shoot me a link. Like I'd love to listen to them. I'm sure their lead singer is like super attractive. So that's probably
Dude,
cool. I mean, I'm not
if
gay, but
if anything, it's music that will make you move and groove.
see, you know what's up. Okay, I'm gonna have to take your word for it. I like moving and grooving and firing Peggy. That was probably my favorite
Wow.
moment.
So let's get back into, you brought up Peggy again. God
Too
bless
loud in
her.
there. Yeah.
So what Jordan Cruz got a title match coming up in a cage. You think
In
he's
a
got
case.
it, or are we gonna see you weasel your way in there, reliving your glory days, trying to help him win his belt or retain his belt? I'm sorry.
I think Jordan could take care of himself. I mean, Vito is great and all, but he's old news. He was one of the first champions of Dream Slam. He's had his time in the sun. Now he's coming back and he's facing a better man. I'm gonna be outside the ring, stuck behind a cage. I can't climb cages. I'm not a monkey. Well, what do you think that I can do? That's not my ability. What I can do is talk. I will give him support from ringside and make sure that he's the winner.
You know
That's
who
all.
can climb cages?
Who?
Vegan Superman.
That's true. That guy was really athletic, handsome, muscular. He had a perfect hairline. Like, I mean, admirable. Most wrestlers would want to be him on any given day.
I've
But
heard that. I've heard that.
alas,
Hey,
only one vegan
speaking of
Superman, guys.
Superman, did you watch the trailer that came out today?
Of course I did.
Your thoughts?
I mean, it looks freaking awesome. I mean, everything that James Gunn touches turns to gold. So, what did you expect to happen? Of
What do
course,
you
it's gonna
think?
make a great
What do you
movie.
think of? I don't know how familiar you are with Nathan Fillion.
Nah, it sounds like
So
uh
he's the guy. He plays Castle. He's in the Rookie.
oh, okay.
He's the Green Lantern guy that's in the new Superman trailer.
Okay.
How do you feel about them? That's how they're introducing the Green Lanterns into this new DC universe with this goofy looking dude.
I don't know. I don't really judge people by their looks. I mean, if I did, I'd have a lot more to say about you. So looking
I
at
already
it,
said everything about
look,
me in the
look
last episode that clearly you didn't
oh,
listen to. I'm short,
I,
I'm fat, I'm
I've,
bald. There's
I've,
not much
I've,
else to say.
I've held back for sure. Oh, I could tell you a lot of very funny things, but I decided to take the high road. I'm not a low-level goon, you
I
know,
can't reach
like
the
you
high road.
guys.
I'm a short guy.
Yeah, it's very true. Like as a, to steal a phrase from an associate of mine, the final boss, like I am just at a level that you guys would not be able to obtain through mortal means, I assume. You're like a plebeian, like
That's
peasants.
probably why you're so tired all the time.
Plebeian.
I,
That's a
I'm
big word.
Yeah, I know a lot of words. I've actually studied the dictionary since I was 1 years old. That's when I learned how to read. Since I opened my eyes, my mom put a book in front of me, and I was able to start slowly understanding words. But not till I was one was I able to read. So I don't know
Wow.
where I was going with that because you guys distracted me with your 50,000 questions while I was talking. But I'll let it
Sorry,
slide.
we were under the impression you were never going to come back on the show again. We got to ask you all the questions we can.
I just had to make you guys work for it is all. I mean, the first couple times I came a little bit too easy. You got to make them work or else
Yeah.
they get a big head.
Nobody
Yeah.
needs to come easy around
Yeah.
here.
No, but
But hey,
thank you.
let me ask you something real quick. So Miggy is our How's This Fake trivia champion, and you accepted. Yeah, get your hat on, pal. You accepted. Now, do you know what this means? Do you even know what you
Mm,
signed up for?
That means we're gonna do some trivia, and it's me versus like a golem, a baby golem, a troll. Like he lives under a bridge and asks a bunch of questions. I gotta answer them. If I
Listen,
lose,
listen.
then
It's Captain Troll.
Okay.
Captain Troll. Don't make me laugh. It's not you're not funny, dude. Like I
Funny
don't
looking.
appreciate
I'm
you trying
funny
to make me
looking.
laugh.
Well,
Yeah, that's true.
I need to explain the stakes of this. So, Trivia Titan 6, which has yet to be scheduled, but will be between the two of you and our former champion, who Miggy just beat in a triple threat match. If you win, you become the How Is This Fake champion. I cannot have you holding my title
Why not? I would be the greatest champion that's ever represented
because I
your.
never get it back.
You would
You
get
re-
it back,
you
and
would
I
retire it
mean,
like John Cena.
you would get something of equal worth, like I don't know, a silver dollar. I think that would work.
Star Wars sheets.
Wow.
Star Wars sheets. No, you watched that.
It
Stop
was
it.
actually, I'll give you that. I don't want to say anything good about you, but that was actually a pretty little good one act. I'll give you that.
All
Nice little
right, all right.
casting couch video. I liked it.
Yeah, like you got to bring something to the table when you're out there just auditioning for roles, right? Like, not everything could be about pleasure or pain. Sometimes it's about talent.
I like it.
So,
Wow.
So
yeah.
time out here. On a
Do I
serious
get the
note,
hat if I win?
if you can beat me,
Yeah.
I'll give you the hat.
Okay.
That's
Don't
how
give him the
confident I am.
hat.
I'm gonna kick
What?
your ass.
I'll get the hat.
Oh,
Yep.
Now on a serious note, how's the school going?
Oh, it's great, man. We've got a good turnout. They're very hungry. After everybody does their stuff, they all clap for each other. A lot of camaraderie. It's been really nice.
Good.
nice. How many
Yeah,
students
man.
you guys got?
About 10 right now.
That's cool.
Yeah,
And how long is the school? It just started, right? So
Mhm.
how long have you guys actually been like getting students in there?
About 2 weeks.
Oh,
Huh.
really? So it's like new.
Yeah, just brand new. We go about 4 weeks for our beginners class, and then we'll start a new beginners and move the beginners to intermediate, and then hopefully we get some new. Just keep going. Then with the intermediate goes to advanced, and then we bring in new intermediate and new beginners, and we just keep going. So
Nice.
yeah,
What are
man.
the age groups? Because I thought I saw a video going around and it looked like there were some pretty young kids in there.
Yeah, we have a class that's like 9 through 17 right now.
Very
So
cool.
yeah, we get the kids to come in and work out. It's replaces like PE for them. So it's not necessarily like we don't put them through the bumps, but I work them out and then I get them in the ring and teach them roles and stuff like that. Like, and the idea is to get them to do like a minute or two match in front of their family where they're not really bumping, but they're playing characters and stuff.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, man, it's very fun.
So it's you, Honest John, your pal James, anyone else over there?
No, just right now it's just the three of us. But John and I mostly do the teaching, and split it up. We do about 4 days a week right now.
Very cool. And
Yeah,
do you
man.
guys plan on doing showcases and stuff like that?
We do. We're looking at doing one at the end of June. So I'll definitely shoot you guys the date and we can talk more about that once we get closer.
Heck
Well,
yeah, dude.
I will be in California for sure on June 27th and 28th.
Well, yeah.
So if you need somebody to step in the ring,
Yeah, I
Don't
mean,
ask
if you
him.
I'm trying to be out there July 6th too. But
hey,
there's some big things coming up July 6th, I heard, that I think I might need to make the drive out there for.
hey, I think something really cool would be watching you try to get in the ring and then being exhausted once you climb on the apron, and then when you get in the ring, you just pass out from sheer lack of mobility.
Well,
You know,
I
'cause
carry
the
a
couch.
I carry a step stool around with me just in case.
Good, dude. You should, because going from the couch to the ring is a big culture shock. So hot Cheetos won't save you either, unfortunately.
Dude, listen, I just watched a whole 10-minute video of you on a couch. So you can't say much.
Dude, that's fine.
That's one thing. That's one thing I have on Miggy. I have actually been inside of a wrestling ring before, and he
That's
has
true.
not. And he told me that if he was ever going to be on one, he'd probably cry. And that's what I thought too, but I didn't cry because it just hurt so bad the second I hit the ropes.
He thinks jumping jacks are a new type of jalapeno cheese, dude. So
Dude, I don't even remember the last time I did a jumping jack. I'd probably break my ankles.
maybe it's possible. Only if you wear that captain hat. How's it
I'm
going,
coming out there to California doing jumping jacks trying to spark an earthquake.
Man,
Drift
you
us
just
off
make
into
it
the
so
ocean.
hard. Yeah, you make it so hard to joke when you make all the jokes yourself. That's wild, dude.
Well, dude, this conversation is flying by. We're heading
Yeah.
towards the end here. You got anything you want to plug? Any warnings you need to send to these heathens in the Dream Slam locker room? What do you got?
Well, there's this guy and he puts his nuts in glitter, right?
Who?
Right? Yeah, I mean it's pretty nuts, right?
Oh my
Okay,
god!
I
anyways.
like that. I like
So,
that.
all I re-
No
all I really
wonder
want to
people don't
plug,
like this guy at
I
Dream
do
Slam.
kind of
Yeah.
like that though. That's
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. I heard it earlier and I was just like, I need to say it or else I'm gonna go crazy. But yeah, I mean, we got the cage match show coming up, and then I also have a movie premiere that day for the Meat Hook Massacre, which is pretty nuts. Yeah, it's also gonna be in Santa Ana, so it's really close. So I'll be heading to my premiere like at 1 o'clock and then heading to the venue. Um,
Nice.
yeah, I mean, other than that, just a lot of wrestling coming up, man. Just slowly building up. We can return and do shows here, hopefully at the end of June. And I'll let you guys know when that's happening. Music, I'm still slowly putting out stuff with Recreation, that awesome band. They let me sing with them, which is cool. Um, yeah, I mean, just a lot of really cool stuff. Hopefully, we get more people at the school and we can just start bringing more good people around the scene,
It's
'Cause we,
just it's just sad though, dude, that you have all of these great things happening for you right now, inside and outside of the wrestling world, and I'm about to embarrass you in front of all of our viewers with your lack of wrestling knowledge when it comes to trivia.
well, I'm the enlightened one, so I'm pretty sure that I know everything that you could know and more. Plus, there's a height limit for knowledge, and it's brought right here.
Well,
Wow.
let me tell you this, dude. I'm the captain. If you're gonna come at the captain, you got to be ready to steer the ship or to scrub the deck. That's all
And
I'm
I'm not
saying.
I'm not scrubbing the deck.
All
So
right.
here's a question: who's taller, you or Wicked Wicket?
Ooh,
Peter, Miggy.
yeah, I'm barely taller than him.
Oh man,
Barely taller than him.
See, I think
Miggy's got the Otis build though.
that's true.
Yeah,
Otis Redding, dude,
yeah,
sitting
I'm
by
like
the dock of the bay.
I'm like a one of those extra large cans of spam.
You do look
Sometimes,
like an extra large.
and I'm a wrestling fan too, so I probably smell like one. But
Oh man, you see that promo where Samoa Joe is talking to the guy, and the guy's like, "You smell like spam," and Samoa Joe starts laughing.
Damn. Hey, he's pulling out Samoa Joe knowledge. He might take this title with him in the next Trivia Titans.
We'll see. We'll see. You heard it here first. I put the title and the captain hat on the line.
That was risky.
I want those glasses too.
These glasses?
Yeah.
Okay, these are my business glasses. You can have these ones. I usually wear the yellow ones.
Okay. And then I'm gonna grow my beard out, and we can have a beard versus beard match because neither of us have hair, so I think it works.
I'd be for that.
I get to shave the
I'll bring the
loser.
Play-Doh. It'll be a good time.
Consequences last like a week or like 2 days for some of us.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Enoch the Enlightened taking a break from teaching the next generation how to wrestle. Thanks, buddy. We'll catch you at the Dream Slam show. All right.
All right, man. You guys were on the guest list, but you're not anymore. You got to pay. Buy a ticket.
Son of a bitch. Later, dude.
Later,
man.